Two Porsches sitting on the same used lot, same model, same mileage, same price tag. One of them will run past 200,000 miles without breaking a sweat. The other one will have you writing checks to a mechanic before the year is out. Checks that cost more than what the car is worth. The difference comes down to one thing: the engine stamped into that block. Porsche has built some of the most legendary power plants in automotive history, but also some of the most expensive mistakes ever put into a production vehicle. And on a used lot, those two things can look completely identical from the outside. Before I tell you the engine's worth every dollar, let me show you the ones I would walk away from first. These are the engines to pass on. Number 3, the Porsche M96 and early M97 naturally aspirated flat 6. This engine showed up in 1997 when Porsche moved away from air cooling and went to water-cooled engines for good. You'll find it in the 996 and 997.1911, along with the Boxster and Cayman of that same era. In 911 models, output ranged from 296 to 355 horsepower, while Boxster and Cayman variants produced between 201 and 295 horsepower. On paper, it sounds solid. Twin overhead cams, 24 valves, a nice power band. But underneath that aluminum block sits two problems that have cost owners a fortune. The first is the intermediate shaft, or IMS. This shaft drives the camshafts, and Porsche used a sealed grease-packed ball bearing to support it. Over time, heat breaks down the rubber seals on that bearing. Oil washes out the grease, contaminants get in, and the bearing pits and fails. When it lets go, valve timing jumps, pistons collide with valves, and you're looking at a wrecked engine. The second problem is bore scoring. The cylinder walls use something called Lokasil, an aluminum casting with silicon mixed in. The resin holding that silicon together breaks down with heat cycles over the years. Loose silicon particles then act like sandpaper on the cylinder walls, chewing grooves into them. That leads to oil burning, rough idle, and a loss of compression. There's a third weak point that doesn't get talked about enough, and that's the air oil separator, or AOS. Inside that unit sits a rubber diaphragm, and once it wears out or tears, engine oil gets pulled directly into the intake manifold. In a bad enough case, that's enough liquid oil to hydrolock the engine on startup, which means bent rods and a totaled motor from something as simple as a worn-out rubber piece. If you're looking at one of these cars, don't just take the seller's word for it. Have a proper pre-purchase inspection done and insist on a bore scope look through the spark plug holes to check the cylinder walls for scoring. If there's no documented IMS bearing replacement, budget $2,000 right away to get ahead of it, because that's a lot cheaper than finding out the hard way. Cars with this engine trade for $15,000 to $40,000 depending on the body style. An IMS bearing upgrade runs about $1,000 to $2,000, and it's worth doing if there's no record of it. But that upgrade doesn't fix bore scoring. If the cylinders are already scored, a proper rebuild with sleeved cylinders runs $15,000 to $25,000, which is often more than the car is worth. Before we get to the next engine, if you want a more in-depth look into how your BMW or Mercedes can last 100,000, 200,000, or even 300,000 miles. These ebooks reveal the exact maintenance secrets and brand-specific strategies that every BMW or Mercedes owner should know. If you want to check them out, the link is down in the description below. Number 2, the Porsche M48 4.5-liter V8, built from 2003 to 2006. You'll find it under the hood of the first-generation Cayenne, both the naturally aspirated S model making 340 horsepower and the twin-turbo model making 450 horsepower. This was Porsche's return to building a V8, and it had some good ideas in it. All aluminum block, double overhead cams, and cylinder walls made from a hard aluminum silicon alloy called Alusil. The problem is what Porsche did with the coolant system. The factory ran plastic coolant pipes through the valley of the engine, right underneath the intake manifold. Those plastic pipes sit in a hot engine bay, day after day, and eventually they get brittle and crack. When that happens, coolant floods straight down into the valley pan, right where the starter motor is mounted. The starter shorts out, and now you've got a car that won't start on top of an overheating engine. On top of that, 15 to 20% of these engines develop bore scoring on the back 4 cylinders, cylinders 5 through 8. Part of the blame goes to Porsche's original service recommendation of changing the oil every 20,000 miles, which was simply too long an interval for this engine. That extended interval let the oil break down and get diluted with unburnt fuel, especially once the ignition coils started failing, which is a common issue on these cars. Diluted, worn-out oil doesn't protect the cylinder walls the way it should, so you end up with metal-on-metal contact where there shouldn't be any. Even the turbo version, which came with piston oil squirters to help cool things down, wasn't immune to this problem. If you're shopping for one of these Cayennes, ask specifically whether the plastic coolant pipes have already been swapped for the updated aluminum ones. Pop the hood and look at the valley pan area for any signs of coolant staining or pooling, because that's usually the first clue something's already gone wrong underneath. Cayennes with this engine sell cheap now, usually $5,000 to $15,000. That low price tempts a lot of buyers. Fixing the coolant pipes with an updated aluminum kit costs $1,200 to $2,500, and that's money well spent if you catch it early. But if bore scoring has already set in, a full engine repair runs $8,000 to $15,000, which on a car worth $10,000 just doesn't make sense. Number 1. The early Audi-built EA839 3.0 Turbo V6, found in the Panamera starting in 2017, and the base Cayenne and Macan S starting in the 2019 model year, specifically any vehicle built before August 6, 2018. This one might surprise you since it's not even a Porsche design at heart. It came out of the Volkswagen Group parts bin, shared across several brands. The horsepower numbers are strong, over 335 in most applications, and the torque comes on early. The problem is inside the valvetrain. Early production engines, anything built before August of 2018, used roller rocker arms with needle bearings that were simply too small for the job. Under normal driving, and especially during cold starts when oil hasn't fully circulated yet, those needle bearings wear down and start escaping their housing. Loose bearings then travel through the engine, scoring camshaft lobes and creating a ticking noise in the valve train. In the worst cases, a valve drops into the cylinder and the engine locks up completely. There were actually 2 revisions of this rocker arm before Porsche and Audi got it right. The early parts, built before September of 2017, and a second version built through August of 2018, both use the same undersized bearings and carry the same high failure risk. It wasn't until the 3rd revision, with a larger bearing and shaft, that this problem actually got fixed at the factory. There's a second issue too. The mechanical water pump uses a vacuum-controlled shroud to manage coolant flow during warm-up. The seals inside that pump break down over time, and coolant leaks into the vacuum system. That contaminated coolant then fouls vacuum solenoids and turbo actuators, causing boost problems and check engine lights. If you're considering one of these, check the build date on the door jamb sticker. Anything built after August 6th of 2018 got the revised rocker arms from the factory. If it's older than that, ask the seller directly whether the updated parts have already been installed, because that's the difference between a reliable car and a ticking time bomb. Vehicles with this engine sell for $25,000 to $45,000, which tells you these aren't cheap cars to begin with. Replacing all 24 rocker arms with the revised parts before they fail runs $1,500 to $4,000. If you wait until the bearings have already damaged the camshaft or cylinder walls, you're looking at a full engine replacement between $25,000 and $32,000. Now for the engines actually worth your money. These are the Porsche engines built to go the distance. The ones that'll still be running strong long after the warranty's been forgotten. Number 3. The Mezger 3.6-liter flat 6, named after the engineer who designed it, Hans Mezger. You'll find the 3.6-liter version of this engine in the 996 and 997.1 generation 911 Turbo, GT2, and GT3 between 2001 and 2009, with enlarged 3.8 and 4-liter Mezger variants continuing in the 997.2 GT3 models through 2011. This engine barely shares any parts with the regular Carrera engines of the same era. Porsche built it off the lineage of the Le Mans winning GT1 race engine and the old air-cooled 930. It uses a proper split aluminum crankcase, a true dry sump oiling system with its own external tank, and cylinder walls coated in Lokasil. That Lokasil coating is the key difference here. It's a nickel-based coating that resists scuffing even under heavy heat and load, so bore scoring simply isn't a concern the way it is on the M96. The intermediate shaft is also built differently. Instead of a sealed bearing packed with grease, Mezger uses an oil-fed gear design, running in pressurized bearings, so it never runs dry the way the standard engines do. The dry sump system itself deserves credit too. It uses a dedicated external oil tank along with multiple scavenge pumps, which keeps oil pressure steady even under hard cornering on track. That's part of why this engine holds up so well in the GT3, which spins all the way to an 8,200 RPM redline without drama. Whether you get the twin-turbo version, making up to 480 horsepower, or the naturally aspirated GT3 version, the bottom end underneath is built the same tough way. Cars with this engine aren't cheap, running $60,000 to well over $120,000, depending on the model and mileage. Annual upkeep runs $2,000 to $5,000 a year. The one weak spot worth addressing is the coolant pipe fittings, which are held on with an adhesive that can break down over time. Pinning or welding those 8 fittings costs $1,500 to $3,000 and takes that risk off the table for good. With regular oil changes every 5,000 miles and fresh spark plugs and coils every 20,000, these engines run for a long time without ever needing to come apart. Number 2, the Carrera 3.2 air-cooled flat 6. Built from 1984 to 1989 in the G-Series 911. This is about as old school as Porsche gets, and that's exactly why it's earned its reputation. There's no coolant system to worry about at all. No radiator, no hoses, no water pump to fail. The engine cools itself with air and oil, which eliminates an entire category of failure points that plague the newer water-cooled Porsche engines. Inside, you've got a forged steel crankshaft, forged aluminum pistons, and hydraulic timing chain tensioners, which fix the chain slip issues that plagued the earlier 3-liter SC engines. Porsche also introduced their Bosch Motronic engine management system on this engine, a big step up in reliability for the era. Producing under 70 horsepower per liter, these engines just aren't working very hard, which means less wear over time. Think about that for a second. This engine only makes 217 horsepower out of 3.2 liters, numbers that would seem modest today. But that low state of tune is exactly why so many of these cars are still running strong 40 years later. There's a lot of margin built into the internals, and Porsche wasn't squeezing every last horsepower out of it the way manufacturers do now, which means the parts inside just don't see the kind of stress that shortens an engine's life. These cars trade for $50,000 to $85,000 today, and annual upkeep runs $1,500 to $3,000. Keeping one running right means sticking to the old-school maintenance schedule. Valve lash adjustments every 15,000 miles, oil changes every 3,000 to 5,000 miles using a high-zinc oil to protect the valvetrain, and keeping an eye on the lower cylinder head studs for corrosion. Somewhere around 120,000 to 140,000 miles, you may need a top-end refresh on the cylinder heads, running $3,000 to $5,000. But the bottom end underneath stays untouched and will easily carry the car well past 200,000 miles. Number 1. The 9A1 and 9A2 direct-injected flat-6 family, introduced in 2009 and still in use today in the 997.2, 991, and 992 in generation 911 along with the Cayman and Boxster. Porsche started from a clean sheet with this engine, and the biggest change is what's missing. There's no intermediate shaft at all. The camshafts are driven straight off the crankshaft using timing chains, which removes the failure point that caused so much trouble on the older M96 and M97 engines. While early 9A1 engines used an upgraded Alusil block design, Porsche moved away from Alusil entirely on the turbocharged 9A2 generation, switching to a plasma-sprayed iron coating called PTWA. That process sprays a thin coat of molten iron directly onto the aluminum bore, and it holds up to piston contact far better than the old Alusil surface did, which means no more bore scoring the way you'd see on older engines. This engine has grown over the years too, from the naturally aspirated 3.8-liter, making 385 horsepower in the 997.2 Carrera S, up to the twin-turbo 3-liter in the 992, making as much as 443 horsepower. That's more power out of a smaller engine, without giving up the durability that makes this whole family stand out. Direct fuel injection helps with both power and efficiency, though it does bring one small maintenance item that's worth knowing about. Because fuel is injected directly into the cylinder instead of over the intake valves, there's nothing washing carbon deposits off those valves, like there was on older port-injected engines. Over tens of thousands of miles, that carbon builds up and can affect airflow. The fix is simple: a walnut shell media blast to clean the intake ports, usually needed every 50 to 60,000 miles. Cars with this engine range widely, from $35,000 for an early Cayman or 997.2 Carrera, up past $110,000 for a newer 992. Annual costs run $1,500 to $3,500. Replacing the water pump proactively around 60,000 miles is also worth doing. Take care of that, along with the carbon cleaning and regular oil changes, and these engines will carry you well past 200,000 miles without ever needing to come apart. Two Porsches on the same lot can look identical and cost you completely different amounts of money over the years. The M96, the early M48 V8, and the early EA839 will find ways to empty your wallet. The Mezger, the air-cooled 3.2, and the 9A1 and 9A2 engines are built to go the distance. Pull the service records, get a proper inspection, and know exactly what engine code you're buying before you sign anything. The right Porsche is out there. Find the right engine, and it'll reward you for a couple 100,000 miles. If you enjoyed this video, hit that like button, and if you like content like this, hit that subscribe button, and I will see you in the next one.